ladies and gentlemen, we no longer have to worry about will Bruzzy leave? What's it going to take for Bruzzy to consider a contract at the Collingwood Football Club? None of that no more. He signs on for 4 more years, takes him to the, we want to call it the latter stages of his career, or I don't know. I mean, Pendlebury at 37 is in within the latter stages of his career. I think to suggest that Bruzzy could be in the latter stages of his career by the time this contract ends in 2029. I don't know. I don't quite see that as the way Collingwood operate anymore. Players can go as long as they can, as long as they have the will and can keep up the standard that is required. And I mean, he's got some great people to learn from when it comes to lifestyle and conditioning and making sure you give yourself every chance to play as late into your career as you wish, of course, which is the most important thing, is the desire there. So there's always that, right? What does Bruzzy mean to the Collingwood Football Club? Well, he's just that guy. Like, you look at the stats, it just doesn't matter what the stats read. Ironically, statistically he's having a really good season relative to maybe his last couple. But always there, what's always present in those games is his white line fever, his ability to provide one percenters on a weekly basis, crucial one percenters, spoils, tackling pressure. He brings energy, brings the heat. He's the fabric of the Collingwood Football Club. That's what Bruzzy is. And sometimes, you know what? That game against Melbourne would have been a perfect game for Bruzzy to come in and give us what we needed. It felt like we missed that grunt in our defensive half at times, and Bruzzy brings that. He doesn't deter from that baseline of I'm going to take your head within the boundaries of the rules of the AFL, right? So that was certainly missed, and you know it's another thing that brings me solace is hearing that he's snapped his plantar fascia, so he's good to go for the second half of the year and beyond. It's crazy how the physiology of this energy, the anatomy of the plantar fascia, it's a management sort of thing until you decide to either operate on it, which keeps you out for an extended period. We saw what happened with Tom Mitchell, but then you can just snap it by way of playing footy, and you're good to go in a few weeks. Like he's good to go post bye. I'm just looking at this injury update from a couple of days ago. Defender set to return following the bye. Braden Maynard is progressing well with his recovery from a plantar fascia rupture and has commenced a running program. Maynard is expected to be available post the bye week, which is huge. I think it's equally more important that he's available while we aren't always opting to go super tall in our backline. If Darcy Moore or Billy Frampton or Jeremy Howe is available, we're not necessarily bringing in the likes of a Charlie Dean. We're comfortable playing small at the moment, and Bruzzy being that versatile defender who can play small, he can play tall, is really crucial to the setup of our defensive structure when we match up against certain opposition. Like Bruzzy, I would have loved to have seen Bruzzy on like a Cozzy Pickett at times in that game to see what we could do with him. Quayne obviously did a job at times, and it just would have been nice to see Bruzzy on a form forward like Cozzy. We'll see that maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if we have Melbourne again this year. I don't know how difficult our fixture is, so I'm going to pull that card out. But those are the things we love about Bruzzy. North would be spewing, but unfortunately, at the end of the day, why would you want to leave the Collingwood Football Club? The marketing opportunities you have, the history, he's so close to tying himself into becoming a one-club player. And Pendlebury actually talked about that yesterday or the day before to SEN, I think it was, talked about, I don't want to play anywhere else. I'm this late into my career. And I know, again, Pendles has played, 9, 10 more seasons than Bruzzy, but it's like Pendles is simply an outlier, whereas Bruzzy is probably on the natural trajectory of an AFL career, AFL player's career. Why? Why? Does something just rubs me the wrong way when somebody's spent X amount of years at a club and then goes elsewhere? Like you look at, especially if you're wanted. I mean, I think about Luke Parker and Jack Darling. Were they wanted at West Coast and Sydney? Definitely not as much as Bruzzy is wanted at Collingwood. And again, Luke Parker and Jack Darling are a bit older, and so maybe we have to revisit this conversation in 4 years' time. I guess it comes to the point where Luke Parker and Jack Darling either had to choose in being a seconds player or a fringe player, or go to another club and extend your career. Fortunately, Pendlebury doesn't have to face that harsh reality. He can probably choose to play on at the Collingwood Football Club. For Bruzzy, yeah, it's probably not a relevant conversation right now because he's still got 4 years to play before he gets to the ages of the Luke Parkers and the Jack Darlings. Bit of a digress a little bit from the conversation, but North would be spewing. They thought maybe his brother working at North would have some sort of give some sort of enticement to Bruzzy to come over to Arden Street, help bring up the younger players. He can still do that here. You look at players like Ned Long who are coming up, Will Hayes. We've got some youngsters that Bruzzy can raise. Like, come on, like we're we're old at the top end, but we've got some players coming through. You got Charlie West who's going to need some help. Joel Cochran who plays in the back line. So I think there should be some exciting little side quests for Bruzzy while he persists in the quest to another premiership. And if you win a flag this year, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's certainly something we're working towards. Obviously, that's 2 flags under your belt. Why wouldn't you want to go for a third flag and become a part of a dynasty side that will be forever etched in history? So I think those things ended up, and the club culture and the players and the people he's grown up with would have played the role in him putting his signature on the dotted line in the end. So that's where I sit and what I think about Bruzzy Maynard. Let me know what you guys think about Bruzzy Maynard in the comment section. I assume every single one of you would be happy with the outcome of this. And yeah, let me know what you think. Go Pies.